So there's this crazy, ridiculous theory or notion, if you will, going around about Lomachenko being the great white hype in America. I'm not gonna say who's spreading this dumbass rumor and theory, but that person's name, the name of that channel is gonna be either in the title or in the description. Let's talk about it. This video is addressed to that person and to whoever is listening to this crazy nonsense, man. Let me break it down to you. Why? Mr. America, sir, that's spreading this theory, let me break something down to you. You live covered with black and white shades that your master programmed into you, man. And I don't mean this in a white and black master, but the master that got you all effed up over here, man. Mr. America, I can bet all of my material possessions that you have never ever been outside of America. And that is why you are stuck in this black and white world. Mr. America, guess what? You live in the biggest, the wealthiest, the most homogeneous empire that has ever existed. You pay taxes in that empire and you spend money in that empire. What do you think that makes you? Yup, an imperialist. You like it or not, you're an imperialist. Guess what, Mr. America? When you travel outside of America, you are no longer black or white. You are an American. When you come to Ukraine, where Vasily Lomachenko is from, where there's a war going on right now, that your empire of a nation started, provoked, and instigated, guess what? You are an American. When you're sitting at a Ukrainian bar and you see a fly shorty come up to you and you think you're all slick, kicking game, and you think that she likes you, guess what? She's looking at you like food. Let's break this whole thing down even more. Mr. America, you said that an amateur background doesn't matter in boxing. Cool. It may not matter in America if you got like 50 fights, like myself, 50 amateur fights. But if you have over 400 fights and not one, but 2 Olympic gold medals, guess what? That shit matters. And to expand on that point, think about it. Vasily Lomachenko had to put in 400 fights, 2 Olympic gold medals for him to get noticed, because that is how hard it is to get noticed in the third world. Especially in the third world. Anywhere else, but in the third world. Because as I mentioned before, and this is a fact, America is the money business mecca of boxing. All the money, all the champions historically and now are here in America. Mr. America. Why do you think that before the late 90s and early 2000s, why do you think there were no champions from Ukraine, Russia, post-Soviet Union? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because we had no fighters that Ukraine and Russia just started boxing in the late 90s and 2000s and shit? Nah, man, because it was practically impossible to ever get noticed and get signed by a big promotional company. It was impossible, man. Everything stayed in America. Americans fought Americans. Americans won titles from Americans. In order for a Ukrainian fighter to get noticed, finally, he had to be 6'7", go to Germany, 250 pounds, and there had to be two of them. And he couldn't even do it in America. They couldn't even do it in America. They had to go to Germany and do it. They had to have ties to the mafia, to racketeering, to all of that, man. Why do you think fighters such as Roberto Duran was the only one like that from Panama? You think there were no other great Panamanian fighters? No, man, because it is practically impossible from the third world to make it, to get noticed by a promoter. In the States, when I was 15, I got approached by a promoter to become a professional, man. It's easy out here. Now, Mr. America, keep it real. You said that they tried to make Vasily Lomachenko the great white hype of America. My man, his name is Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko. You can't even pronounce that shit. Americans cannot even pronounce that shit. When he started his career, he didn't speak English at all. And now that he speaks English, you don't even understand him. And you damn well know that y'all don't like foreigners speaking with their accents, man, because you can't relate to that. Americans don't like it, man. And if they did try to make Vasily Lomachenko into a great white hype, why didn't they just, you know what I'm saying, like, pick some British fighter, teach him an American accent, and have him be the great white hype, man? One thing you don't realize, Mr. America, one thing that you must realize, slavery was never because of your skin color. They made your dumbass think that, man. Guess what? There were Celtic, Irish, white slaves in America. Let me ask you something. What is the etymology of the word slave in the English dictionary? Maybe it comes from the word Slav? How come it doesn't come from the word black or the word Jew? How come it comes from the word Slav? Which Vasily Lomachenko is Slavic. Something you don't realize, my brother. That's called conquer and divide. They want your dumbass to think that it's white and black, man. Why Slavs, the people that are in power consider Slavs Eurasians, white Asians, man. You think there would be a war? You think, why there's no war in Germany? Why there's no war in Spain? Why there's no war in Great Britain, man? Why did your empire, with your tax money, provoke a war in a Slavic country, man? Because there's all these bunch of great white hypes running around there, man? How come Gvozdyk isn't a great white hype? How come Usyk isn't a great white hype? How come the Klitschko brothers weren't a great white hype, man? You don't think about it, man. They're dividing and conquering us. How come there are no numerous, awesome African champions, man? You think because they got no talent in Africa? No, man, because they keep the money here. And I made the video 3 weeks before that they're gonna give the fight to Haney. Got a question, another question for you. If they were trying to make Vasily Lomachenko the great white hype, why they didn't give him the fight against Salido? Why they didn't give him the fight against Lopez, man? And why wouldn't they give him the fight against Haney? One judge gave Even, fine, call it a draw. Call it Haney won. One judge gave the 10th round to Haney? You don't see how that's American bias, Mr. America? They rather see a young, handsome, black American than a Slavic Vasily Lomachenko name that you can't even pronounce, that don't speak English. Because the money's gonna stay here. You're gonna relate more to Haney. You're gonna spend the ticket to pay-per-view and go see him and place bets more on Haney than you will on Vasily Lomachenko in America, bro. Guess what? Overseas, they watch these fights for free. Only in America you pay pay-per-view, man. I watched the fight for free on a Russian site. And your stupid ass theory about Vasily Lomachenko corner panicking and all of that, and ESPN not letting you hear the corner. I heard the corner fine. I watched it on the Russian website, Russian speaking website, Russian language website. I heard the corner fine. It was a normal corner. No conspiracy here. The only conspiracy is that your imperialist state of a nation calls the shots. The judges, American. People spending money, Americans. Guess what fight they want to make next? Haney and Davis, 2 Americans. You know why Vasily Lomachenko became pro so late? Because, again, it is practically impossible to get noticed, man, coming out of Ukraine. He had to put in 400 fights. Plus, he was lucky enough that his manager, his trainer, was his father, man. So their game plan was to have an amazing amateur career, take as less damage as you can, and go into the pros, into the shark pool, man. Get the titles as fast as you can so he can retire with less fights and still have his brain in place, man. Not have his brain smacked out of him, man. This great white hype bullshit about people from the third world. Why ain't Canelo Alvarez the great white hype, man? Anyway, these people, I tell you, blow my mind with this dumbass shit. Listen, all my subscribers, thank you so much. Anybody that leaves a comment, thank you so much. Let me know what you guys think, please. It means the world to me, man. The person, Mr. America, that I'm talking about, again, I'm gonna leave him either in the description or in the title. Huge shout out to Romania, the greatest poet of all time. All my boxing fans, videos on Ukraine are coming, man. This was Proof to Me They're Alive, Food for Thought, Nazarene, all that good stuff. Fighting for change. Uno.